All right, Zan, let's try and make this one an interesting topic. Let's try and make it a bit of a quicker subject. Whenever I say that, it
rapid fire
never ends up
Yeah,
quick.
so this is going to be about 30 minutes, right? Are we talking about this?
You guys can fast forward. Speaking of Call of Duty, I think it's really weird. We talked about earlier, I wanted to loop back to this, about the three paths that organizations are going down.
Yes.
One of those paths was franchises. One of them is kind of just a general broad esports, the basics, right? You're going for esports teams, but trying to avoid maybe those franchises, or at least all of them. And so I talk about now, we have several teams out there, especially as of late, Evil Geniuses, NRG, 100T. Either teams are getting out of Call of Duty and going to Counter-Strike and more mainstream games like League of Legends, or they are going into Call of Duty and leaving those mainstream games because of the price to pay.
Yeah.
And so let me try and get this right. It's kind of when I overthink these kind of things, it's in my head. NRG, they've now joined Call of Duty and left CSGO. Evil Geniuses, they leave Call of Duty, they join CSGO, taking NRG's team. And now we have 100T, who is not going to be in Call of Duty, and they are actually trying to get into CSGO and possibly a lot of other mainstream games. And so I'm very curious on your opinion about this, and I think I know your answer. When it comes to the franchises out there, you're an organization. What are you doing if you have some funding out there? Are you hopping into a franchise league? Which one, if so? Or are you going towards a more general audience of esports out there?
Honestly, I'd say either the general audience, or if a franchise, I would definitely go league over.
That's what I thought. I'm with you on that.
Because, I mean, everybody knows the Call of Duty franchise league, it could, by some miracle, do well.
It could.
But everything points to it doing really not. We're not well enough anyway to justify the investment. And Overwatch League looks like it's ramping up decently, but we haven't seen anything that actually proves that is worth the investment either, especially because, I mean, I've heard teams are having to put money into their own stadiums and stuff, so it's just more fees just keep piling up. So
and rosters keep on changing every year, and that's just
so many trades. Back
any
and
money
forth.
you're bringing back, you're trading out. It's just it's a complicated system.
It's a tightrope,
and so it really kind of makes me worried for the future of what we're going to see here. But especially, I think when it comes to choosing a game like League, we obviously see the longevity in League of Legends. A game like Counter-Strike, there's a very few set of games out there that have longevity, and so I kind of agree with you in terms of approaching. If it was a franchise, you go to League of Legends.
Right.
I'm also a bit worried about, though, teams that go into Counter-Strike. It's not cheap.
Definitely not, yeah.
And I just think it's very, very interesting to see where these organizations do go and where they allot all of their money, because we've talked about the esports bubble before, and, where that is all going. Who knows? I think you make a great point that I want to end this topic on, though, in a bit, is this franchise league of Call of Duty. We've kind of talked about our worries a lot.
Yeah, we got concerns.
So let's list it out. We have an introductory price for the slot of $25+ million.
Good chunk of change.
Alongside that, we have a game whose viewership is solely dependent upon the success of the game.
Yeah, and that could change next year.
It could change frequently.
Yeah.
We have a game that looks really great, although despite many rumors about the parts of the game that you don't think would affect the franchise league, but they certainly will. I made a point in a video about this. So you have Activision making these choices that are vastly going to affect the players, the community who plays the game, which thus affects the viewership even further of the league. If I don't like a Call of Duty, I'm probably not going to watch it competitively. I would say a majority of people think that same way. If you're not playing a game, the odds of you watching it are so low.
Yeah, which blows my mind that they are picking this game to continue with the microtransactions on, because you'd think with the franchise league coming up, they'd want to
crossplay for the first time ever.
Yeah, you'd think they'd want to stack the deck to make it so everybody can play, everybody's happy.
You can have subtle loot boxes. People will cash in on those, but they keep on reaching because I think they see it. This is our franchise year. This is our crossplay year. We should cash out right now.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really scary because you have what could be potentially the best Call of Duty we've seen in a long time. You have the $25 million franchise fee on one side pounding you.
Yeah.
You have Activision ruining your game constantly. This is going to look real weird. Just pounding you.
You want some shake weights? We can actually
from inside out. You have this COD game that could be great, but two giant pillars that are crumbling.
Yeah, they could, honestly, it could ruin the company.
It could ruin a lot of things. And so I don't know. And I don't know where we're going with this. I'm just very, very worried for the future, and I hope people understand why.
2020 is going to be an interesting year.
Really? It is.
Yeah.
Like, where will Activision Treyarch be? Where will Call of Duty be? Where will franchise leagues be? It is solely dependent upon these choices that orgs are making. And if you're an org, you said you're going to General Esports or League of Legends.
Right.
We have orgs out there taking the risk. They are going to Call of Duty. They are going to a franchise league. They're going to CSGO. And only a few of these orgs are going to have their risks pay off potentially.
No, yeah. You got to factor in, like, yeah, that investment, whether or not you get that back depends on, will you win?
Yeah.
Are your players going to be good in this Call of Duty versus the other Call of Duty?
Or will this COD be successful enough?
Yeah, right.
And so for me, I'll close on this. What organizations will be around 3 to 4 years from now because of the choices they are making now?
Cronky.
Cronkies, because they're who knows, man. You really look at the brands like FaZe and 100T, and they are taking such vast different approaches, safer approaches. Evil Geniuses leaving Call of Duty. These organizations are making plays they think are going to be the right ones. And 3 to 4 years from now, we're going to see organizations saying, I told you so, or I'm out of here.
Definitely.
So, scary times.